Hello, friends. Welcome to our team call. I haven't even realized that it's September yet. Yesterday, I actually did a lot of work, but I also took a lot of time off, but it still hasn't hit me like this is September, September, October, November, December. Wow. Can I tell you, every month I love a fresh start. I love a fresh start. I think that more that we can fall in love with fresh starts, and that our God really talks a lot about fresh starts in his word, the renewing of our minds, the new mercies every morning. Are we thinking on these things? Are we walking in these things? And I have to say, yeah, I think 98% of the time we aren't. We aren't. We're just in our little zone, our little zones. So I am here to help us get out of the funks, to stop self-sabotaging, and to help you also create new, truly new habits, new neurological pathways, and to point you back to the basics. This month, anytime I'm on here, we're going to be talking basics. And honestly, half of the reason is because I have some newbies and I'm realizing that what I just went through over the last almost 90 days, it's probably around 75, 80 days, has been simplifying my business. And the relief that I feel, I want to pass on to you. But before we get into that, I am so excited about two things. I gotta share the two things. You guys, number one, the step, sip, share thing. If you're like, this is too much, I can't wrap my head around this, I want to encourage you to take a moment and decide to try to walk multiple times a week and bring a pink drink with you and take a picture of or a video of you walking with your pink drink and putting it in your stories and inviting people to do that with you all month. We're going to be doing this September, October, November, December, all the way through this contest. Talk about the community, talk about your wins. You guys, we want to show some before and afters. I want to show people this is working. Watch my body change. Watch my mindset change. I want to be a product of the product. If you're new here or if you're old here, it's very easy to forget. Oh yeah. Like we got to be a product of the product. So stay consistent on your products. Go to bed earlier if you're going through a detox or you've been staying up too late scrolling. Like take care of you. Try to move a little bit every day. So that's number one thing I'm excited about. Like let's step and sip. And I know Allie's team is doing something very, very similar, you guys. Watch what she's doing. You can copy what she's doing too. Hers, I think they have more of a group and like a tracking thing, check-in stuff, which is awesome. Ours is a little bit different in that we just have a little chat and we're just like popping in and talking about how we doing as we go. Okay. It's up to you to decide how you want to use this. If you have three customers that you want to do this with, put them in the chat. Put them in a chat. Create your community. Okay, the second thing I'm excited about is Gabby Roberts on here. You guys, she is a gold ambassador. She's my level one. Last December, they were like, remind me, Fred, was there 8 days left in the month? I'll never forget this. But yeah, 8 days left in the month. And she's like, I did not realize how close I was to earning the cruise. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, okay. And she added like 11. Am I remembering that? I remember the numbers. That's a miracle. She added 11 people and earned it. And then it was kind of too late. They filled up the boat and it was horrible. It was horrible. And corporate was like, we're never going to do that again. Poor Gabby, bless her. But you guys, she's had ups and downs just like all of us. And she had just I don't know, you guys, the boldness as the gold ambassador to message me and be like, I have something I want to train on. Would you let me share with the team? And I'm like, yes. You guys, anytime you are learning something, I don't care if you have one ambassador under you. If you have like an aha moment that is blessing you in this business, please tell me. We will get you on this call. In fact, maybe we'll just go back to doing that at the beginning of every call. We're going to have one of you just share where you're at, share what you're learning. When we share what we're learning, you know what it does for us? We learn it at deeper depths. we do. And it will prepare you for leadership too, that when you breathe in new things and you're learning new things, you press it back out to build up others around you, right? So, Gabby, thank you for doing that. And everything she shared with me, just a little bit of what she wants to share about, I have thought about every day since she has shared it, and it has strengthened me and given me like a clearer picture of what we're doing here. I'm gonna let you take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was very abrupt and random, actually. I have not been doing these things that I'm about to talk about because it just like became very clear to me. On the 28th, so last Saturday, I was laying down and I was praying before bed, and I was like half asleep. And I was asking the Lord to help, like to bless my business, to bless my Plexus business, which I do every night. But for some reason that night, like the Lord just brought so many things to my mind. And I like half asleep, like texted myself, like so that I wouldn't forget what, in the morning. But it's kind of related, somewhat related, to what Allie was talking about last week, how our stories let people into our home, right? And what I'm going to be talking about is kind of like the outside of our home. The stories let people in, but what about the outside of our home? You know what I mean? So, on Facebook and on Instagram, when we make a post or we make a reel, we are adding to our wall, right? I don't know what it's called on Instagram. On Facebook, it's called a wall. So I'm going to call it a wall. And typically, how you would build a wall is with bricks, right? And that's kind of the imagery that God kind of brought to my mind, like all of these different bricks. So I was like, okay, if someone is looking at my house, my wall, right, and it's like all plexus, they're going to be like, whoa, I don't want to go in that girl's house. Like, I can already see the outside. It's not appealing to me. But if it's all personal, then they have no idea about plexus, right? So, I kind of had like this system, I guess you would call it, that I don't want to say I came up with it, but it kind of was brought to me. And it's how we build our wall because I know when I first started, all that was talked about was layering people. And as a new person to Plexus, I understood what that meant, but the way my brain works, I needed more details. Like I needed more, okay, I understand I need to layer people, but how do I do that? Like in the simplest of terms, how do I actually layer people? Like realistically. So a strong wall needs a lot of bricks, right? If I have a wall of just 5 or 10 bricks, it's not going to be a very good wall. I need a lot of bricks. Over time, that wall is going to withstand, whatever comes at it. So if we want to layer people correctly, then we need to layer our wall correctly. And like I said, I pictured it as like bricks. So our bricks out are our posts, right? We can't have only Plexus posts. We can't have only personal posts. We can't, like, we have to have a mix of posts. So there's 5 different bricks that I kind of came up with to like label them to make it easier for people to understand. So each brick has a purpose, but they only work when you use the bricks, when you layer the bricks together, right? So the 5 bricks are personal bricks, value bricks, engagement bricks, plexus bricks, and invitation bricks. So I'll go over each one too individually just to kind of make it more clear. So personal bricks, right? That is going to be your post about being a mom or your faith or your hobbies that you're doing if you're gardening or, you know, painting or whatever. Behind the scenes, right? If you're making dinner, like post yourself making dinner, even if you mess up dinner, like say that you messed up dinner because that's going to make you more relatable. That is going to let people in. And that's going to show that you're human, right? Because a lot of times when we are just posting about plexus or not that it makes us look inhuman, but we also need to show like, hey, I'm just like you. I'm just a mom who makes dinner and messes up sometimes, right? And then the next brick is going to be the value bricks. These are posts that are not related to Plexus, but you're bringing value. So posting tips about wellness, not related to Plexus. Um, Recipes, mom life hacks, scripture, again. These help people without asking for anything in return. You're offering advice, you're offering, hey, this worked for me, this is it. Like, if you want to take it and run with it, that's for you to take and run with it. Um, the next brick is engagement bricks. So these are like just fun polls or this or that questions. I know one thing that came to my mind when I was thinking of this, like an example for this engagement brick, was a long time ago. They had that dress, and everyone in the world was like, "This dress is blue. This dress is white." This posting something like that. I mean, not the dress, but something like that, where people have strong opinions on it and they want to voice their opinions, right? Because more engagement equals more visibility. So you want to have like engagement posts that are going to get people talking. It doesn't need to be anything crazy like politics or, anything serious, but just fun stuff to get people talking about their opinions. And then the next brick is Plexus bricks, right? So this is going to be like your personal journey with Plexus, other people's journey, right? Testimonies, new products, or anything really related to Plexus. The business, the products, those are going to be your Plexus bricks, and these are going to create curiosity, but also connection. And then the next brick, the last brick, invitation bricks. So these are very clear posts that you're making where you're literally inviting people to either try a product, or you're inviting people to join your team, or you're inviting people to learn more, like the opportunity calls or things like that. And so these give clear next steps for people, because sometimes they're like, oh, I saw this post, I like it, but now what? Like, I don't know what to do, right? This kind of gives clear instructions for people, which I feel like a lot of people kind of need. Um, Now, those are all the bricks, but they can't stick together without mortar, right? So this kind of took me a while to figure out. But the mortar, like bricks alone, they're going to fall, right? So you need mortar to help them all stick together so your wall doesn't crumble. And the mortar is just you literally posting consistently and authentically, right? You can post consistently and be unauthentic, and it's going to turn people off. So you have to make sure that you know your heart behind it, like your intent. Um, I get a lot of my posts from Allie or like other girls on the team, but I always make sure to either make it my own, or like I've seen posts of Allie's or other girls that I've loved, but it wasn't me. So I just didn't post it because it's just not me? So you still have to be authentic to yourself for your wall to stick. Because if someone senses that you're not being authentic, your wall doesn't mean anything to them. Like in their eyes, your wall just crumbled. So this is what holds your wall together over time, right? So a lot of times no one is going to just buy a product or sign up with you after one post, right? That's like very, very, very unlikely. Um, would I say impossible almost? Like, if you have to have some kind of trust built with that person, and that starts with how they see the outside of your house, right? So I feel like this is the best way that we can layer people over time. Obviously, yes, being in Messenger, yes, being in person connections and things like that. But so much of our daily lives is online. And especially for like stay-at-home moms like me, I rarely get out of the house. I rarely go anywhere. So 90% of my interactions is online. So the way that I have the outside of my home or my wall presented kind of matters. So basically, if your wall has only plexes, you're going to come off as salesy. And if your wall has only personal, you're going to have no exposure for your network. So when you do reach out or you do try to talk, it's going to be like new to them. So they're going to be a little bit more standoffish. They're going to be a little bit more defensive. So the strength comes from layering different bricks over time consistently and authentically. That's it. That was my big, huge clarity that I got from the Lord on Thursday.
That was unbelievable. And I will say that I need that reminder right now because I do get caught up sometimes, Gabby, and like, oh, what do I post next? Oh,
Mhm.
where am I at? And then I go to my wall and I think back to what Allie and I used to do. We literally would like rotate through different types of posts, you know, inspirational and then educational. And then I'd be like, oh, today's my entertaining day. Oh, shoot, do I have a joke? Do I
Yeah.
have something funny that happened with my kids? Or can I look something up right now? Like
Mhm.
what's funny? Um, and it was so freeing to my mind knowing what I was like
Right.
moving into. And then sometimes I'd think ahead and Allie would too, and we'd be like, oh, like I'm gonna wait till Friday to post that educational thing that I just learned. But yours just makes so much more sense as far as organized in my brain that I mean, this is good for a newbie. This is good for me. And I absolutely love just your picture of a wall. And I will tell you, when she shared with me, I started thinking about the fact that we're building beautiful organizations, these
Right.
beautiful, ornate buildings for the Lord, for people to come into and find community with us.
Right. I think you said like we our business is online, so we don't have like a brick and mortar, but like this is our brick and mortar, like our wall, our social media presence, like that is basically our billboard. That's what people see, you know?
Yes, and you're so right. What holds it together is the authenticity and the consistency. And you guys, I will tell you, I mean, we're always going through hard things, right? There's like a trial around every corner. And so certain seasons are hard. And I will tell you, if you're in the middle of something very personal or heavy or hard, mentally, emotionally, this business, it's a little bit more difficult to show up in this like vivacious, vibrant way of wanting to like pour out all of your just the goodness, the overflow of this heart when you feel like you have no overflow. But I will tell you, pray about this. Bring these things to the Lord because He will give you and grant you the ideas of how to show up truly every day. I have been through some nightmare experiences and moments over the last 9 years, just like many of you guys have. And I can look back and be like, oh Lord, thank you for those ideas during those days to pour out, right? Also, people aren't going to notice if you take a whole day off social media. Please do that. Decide the day that you're not going to post in stories. Decide the day you're not going to post at all. Just check on your customers, make sure business builders have what they need. You don't need to tell your anybody, like, I'm announcing, I'm pulling back for 3 days. Lead yourself and then jump back in when you can. Gabby, that was amazing. Absolutely amazing. One of my favorite social media trainings I think we've ever had. Just so
Yeah.
precise, concise, to the point. Love it.
Yeah, it took me a while to get my thoughts together on that because I messaged you the morning after I was like praying and like half asleep and I was like, this is messy.
I don't know. I feel like,
No, now I once I got it in order, I'm saying like before
yeah,
I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get like my thoughts clear on this?
I think that's absolutely incredible. So, so good. The layering and exposure side of the outside of our wall, of our grid and Instagram, our Facebook walls, and then stories, right, is behind the scenes. I love that. And maybe next week we can talk about um here's my cute boy. Maybe next week we can totally talk about customer service or customer care on our end and how we layer and expose people for the business opportunity as we take care of our people, other products that they might want to try in the future, and so on, because that's a whole nother little realm of building, helping them build their future wall, right? When they end up sharing with others. Okay, I am here to tell you guys that many of you know back in June after convention, I just realized, oh my goodness, I have some decisions to make. I got to change some things. I realized I wanted to grow in my own personal recruiting of level ones again, like really focus on that and duplicating for my own business and go wider. You guys, in Plexus, we can have as many level ones as we want. The more level ones, the better. And of course, we want those level ones to at some point share so we can build the level twos and the level threes and level fours. That's where we get our residual income. But I was in a place where I was like, okay, my level ones and twos are waning. And, just with where I'm at in the business right now, it was time to reinvest in that. So if you're finding yourself in that place, and I feel like anybody who is like under senior Ruby points, your top priority is still level ones and level twos. Level ones and helping to and looking for those people who would want to share with one or potentially build a business with you and be your next leader, right? So I knew that I wanted to develop more leaders in my levels ones and twos. We can never have enough, you guys. This is part of the work here, okay? I definitely wanted to work to earn icon by the end of August. I did not. I got close, I'm 7 orders away there with a second senior silver. And I have a feeling one of my new business builders, or all of them, I think we can get them to senior silver in September. So guys, I didn't reach my goal. I worked so hard for it. But because I worked so hard for it, there was so much other fruit that I'm just so thankful for. So again, this is back in June, you guys. I saw when I looked back on my previous months in 2025, this year, I saw how off track I'd really gotten in my own personal business. I felt a bit scattered, I felt a bit unfocused. And although I was doing my IPAs, my income producing activities, you guys, like messaging, stories, customer care, because there wasn't that true energy and intention behind it, literally, I feel like the people on the other side of the screen could tell. And yeah, I was just lacking energy and focus, like laser focus on what I really wanted. So it took me making some decisions. And these are the decisions that I made mid-June that I can see the fruit of everything that was happening then at the end of August, and it's still pushing into September. And I'm continuing to do these things. This was the first decision I made. And it was after talking to a couple of diamonds who, like, different people that said the same exact thing to me. They said, you need to surround yourself with stronger leaders than yourself who are consistent, like who are constantly learning, who are goal setting, who are pushing themselves out of their comfort zones still at this level in their business. Okay. So I got myself in a leaders chat with Jules and Diamonds, and Amber Miller is in there, who's actually our diamond, you guys. And she's on fire again. She sat back, you guys, for a few years in Plexus, making almost seven figures. And yes, was always a good steward of her business, helping her leaders, showing up on team calls. But she was like, you know what? I'm going to get back to building again. So I'm hanging out with those people. Christina Williams, same thing. Brittany Howard's in there. There's a wonderful handful of leaders in there that I feel like are beyond me because they have developed more jewel leaders than me, right? Like you want to, you guys, we have to put ourselves with people who are like sunshine and who inspire us, who are onward focused, right? So I did that. We're keeping each other accountable with our goals. You guys, writing down my goals in that chat, like it was hard. I'm like, oh, I'm seeing those now. We're doing it like with emojis, and everybody can see everybody's goals. And like when you add a new level one VIP, you're like going and you change that one thing, and everybody cheers for you. You guys, I haven't done this in so long, just for my own business, okay? And I was horrified. I was horrified. Anyway, so that's number one. Number two, I decided to work on my professional growth, my own professional growth Monday through Friday, no matter what. And all it meant was reading 5 to 10 pages from a leadership book and listening to a podcast or even part of a podcast every day, just 5 days a week. You guys, sometimes this took 10 minutes. Sometimes it took 10 minutes, sometimes it took 30 minutes. But I've been focusing more on the consistency of keeping my brain in these books or what have you daily for a couple of minutes rather than like reading for an hour on a Saturday morning, right? So, really honing in on my own mindset and focus was huge. Next, I was challenged in July to write down my monthly goal like at least once a day. So I would just write it out. And you guys, like nowhere special, just write it out somewhere to see it. And it was amazing. I would be like, Lord, please bless the work of my hands. This is what I really want to work towards. It helped with my focus all day long. Like my brain was looking for opportunities to meet these goals. Next, I decided that with every Eric Worre call, I would take notes and then I would really work to take action. And I did. I sent out, I think I got to 85 or 89 um, really solid reach outs and messages. And I'm going to tell you what came from that. That's a lot, you guys. And it took me like a week and a half. Just a little bit of that every single day. And then of course you have follow-ups with people, right? Who get back to you. Um, make sure to stay on track because I have some other thoughts with that. But you guys, when I realized back in 2016 that I really wanted to earn like six figures, but 5 figures a month, I committed myself to doing all of my messaging before I started scrolling or posting on social media for the day. Like Lou would be like out in the kitchen with the little kids, and I'd be like finishing my messaging, and then I would go out to them. We would eat breakfast together and everything. But you guys, I didn't get on social because I just realized it was jumbling my brain. It got me totally off track. It was zapping my energy deep down, and it was getting me off of my goals. And my goals entailed talking to people about plexus. And also, when I would finish that messaging, I would pull back and I'd be like, I'm victorious. I feel so victorious for the day, right? Mm, I'm dry today, you guys. Okay. So after a convention, I decided to do this very thing. Since mid-June, I'm not scrolling. I'm not checking my messages first thing in the morning. I'm not checking or posting in stories until I have sent out relational messages or pivoting messages. The next thing I decided to do is be in stories 5 to 6 days a week and sharing the products one day, the next day, the business, then the products, then the business on repeat. And I made sure that my face at some point in my stories, it could be for 15 seconds or 2 minutes. My face was in front of the camera, and so that I could build quicker rapport with people. And then I made sure to use some professional sites as my third party tool in stories after sharing the products or the opportunity. And I do think that that is why I'm having so many business conversations. Not only was I messaging people, and I got so many no's and so many like, maybe in the future. And I'm like, how about if I check back next month? They're like, how about 3 months? I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, this is horrible. And then I just went down the list to the next person. You guys, I just had to rip the band-aid off. I did not feel ready or anything. Okay. But looking back, I'm like, I have been layering people in my stories too, right? Lou and I were talking about this. They were seeing my face and then they were reading on a slide, like it was going in about the opportunity, right? So, next thing I did, I decided to send those extra bold voice messages out and ask people to get their eyes and ears on what I have. So, I did that with almost 90 people, and two said yes, and they are on this call. Makes me want to cry. Isn't that crazy? You guys, two out of like, I need to go back and check. It's like 85 or 89 people. That's Amanda and Stephanie, and they are incredible women. And I just feel so humbled that they would join me. They are people that I want to be like, more like. They love the Lord. They love their families already, just so coachable, brings so much joy to me. I don't feel like I'm working. You know, those people that join you that you're like, you're just so easy to love. Oh my gosh. Can we please go vacation together so we can get to know each other better? That's what I want to help them do. Okay. So by the end of June, I want to tell you that's what I did. That's what I changed. And I'm going to tell you how I was feeling by the end of June. I was so discouraged after 2 weeks of doing this. I did bring on 5 level 1s in June, and I was very happy about that. But I also knew, well, that was from my work from the previous 90 days, right? 90 days of consistency. It's amazing how many times people quit before the 90-day mark. And after the 90 days, if you're not seeing results, it's time to shift. We're always shifting, you guys. We have to just stay in that zone, and it's hard. I was like, I am done with this. This is so stupid. Everything felt a little more difficult, you guys, because I was out of the habit of doing these things. And so it's like my brain had to work extra hard to figure out how to talk about the business clearly and in an energized way. Even stories felt harder. So, what I want to say about that is that the longer I did it, the easier it got. And now it feels so easy. I don't feel overwhelmed or stressed. I just have my list of people and I'm continuing to do that. Let me tell you this though, July was even worse. You know why? End of July, I brought on one person in July. You know what my first thought always is? Oh my gosh, my team is watching. And they're like, hello, BK, get it together. I'm like, I only brought on one and I worked so hard, Lord. But I will tell you this, that one is a dream teamer and we're talking regularly about the opportunity. So it's a quality level 1, right? So I went into August, I'm like, fine, we're going to continue doing this. It felt better. I felt more energized. You guys, that's when I brought on 6 level 1s and 2 business builders. And there's another one that couldn't get on the call today unless she is snuck on. Do you see Kristen anywhere? See Kristen. I'm triple checking. Kristen, if you're here, hi. No, you're not. But maybe you'll watch the recording. So, you guys, I'm sharing this from a place of I can really say I've been in your shoes. I've been to the end of my rope so many times in this business, questioning myself, questioning if I can do this, questioning if this is for me. And I will say, if you still have a dream in your heart and there's a little spark in your soul, I want to light that afire again and show you that you can do this differently than you have. You can do this from this overflow, this energized place, but you're going to have to rip a band-aid off at a certain point. Rip it off. It is so worth it. Anticipate ups and downs, all sorts of feelings. But I want to draw you into what I'm doing. This is how I'm leading our new team forward. We have fresh new people coming in, you guys. Let's join them. Let's enjoy their energy. I love Gabby that you poured into all of us, newbies, oldies. These are the basics, and we're going to come back to this day in and day out. Something Liz Crawl and I were talking about, and I got to sign off here because I got major errands to do today, which I should just say that I'm leaving on that Alaskan cruise on Thursday, day after tomorrow, and I'll be gone till like the 17th or the 18th. I'm so excited. This is a bucket list thing. I have a bin with like old Cape Cod clothes. I have no idea how to go about like fishing for salmon. Like, what do you wear? Anyway, and you have diamonds that are like going to be decked out. I'm sorry. You're going to see me. You're going to be like, she looks like a hobo, but I'm just going to have so much fun as a hobo in my sweats. I'm wearing sweats on the cruise. Okay. So Liz and I were talking about hunger and time. Those are the two things you need for this business. If you have the hunger, you're going to find the time. If you have decided in your heart, or you're not making time to see if you have time, then you're going to lose your hunger. It's just going to fade away. You'll dump your dreams. You just will. And you'll move onward. And you know what? You'll be happy. You'll be like, whew, so nice to quit Plexus. Now I don't have to post every day or worry about any of this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. You'll enjoy some comfort. Um, you're gonna miss out on so much fulfillment and so many others. Like all the people here are going to miss out on so much in their health, in their future, their finances. You guys, this is just so fulfilling. But I want to encourage you right now too. If you have zero hunger, but you're like, I have a need. I have a need to do this, but I don't have the zhuzh and hunger right now. Oh, join my party that I found myself in off and on over the years. You are responsible for refueling yourself. Don't keep going and pressing forward like a crazy woman. Find your inspiration again. Take some breathers. Go pick up your old hobby again, right? And in the meantime, be a good steward of your business. Keep posting. Take care of your customers and wait on the Lord for that next. He will give you that next mission and purpose that you have here that will start to set your soul on fire. And then you will find the hunger. And then with that hunger, you're like, that's weird. I have the time. Oh, you will find the time. Okay. Hope that makes sense to you. I feel like I'm starting my business all over again. I think that all of us are going to be experiencing this many times over the next years together. If you feel like quitting, message me because I'm going to talk you out of it. Because you cannot quit on a bad day, a bad week, a bad month, or a bad year. If you have, let's see how many bad years I had, like really hard years. I would say 4 straight years. So if you've been here for 4 straight years and you are like, I cannot lift my legs to move any way forward, I'm still going to try to talk you out of quitting. Mm-mm. No, you have the dream, you had the hunger, you caught the vision at one point or another. Let's help you forward in a fresh new way, fresh energy, fresh mindset. Anybody have anything to share as we wrap up? Is there action that you feel mm, like anything that I shared that you feel like, yes, I know that if I do this consistently, I'm going to see success. Is there anything that sticks out to you? It's so true, Liz. Some people actually really are curious and they're ready immediately to join us. And we're like, what? I'm scrolling down.
I was ready immediately. I was looking and it was the right fit. I think the thing that just hit me after my pages of notes is so often on team calls, I'll be like, oh, my team needs to hear that. And now I'm like, no, I need to hear this. Me, because how can I lead them if I am not changing? And you just said that I am responsible to fuel myself. I think it's too easy for me to be like, Dom sitting right here, just be like, Dom needs to give me time. Dom needs to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm responsible. And actually, that was Reba who told me that. She's like, I just had to realize that my husband is doing his job. It's my responsibility if I need something to communicate or also to carve out the time for what I need. So we need to be performing, nope, doing the personal growth and seeing that that is fueling ourselves.
Yes. Who is in the midst of doing professional growth right now? Be honest. Be honest. Like daily. Okay. Is it because you believe it's a waste of time? I think you think it might be a waste of time. Do you think it's a waste of time just setting aside time? What is it? What is it? Because I talked to a lot of you and I already know the answer to that question in many regards. But I believe it's what's holding back most of you. 100%. The only way I got to Senior Ruby that first year is because I was training myself every single day, pumping my ears with so much belief. My mindset had no other way to go but marching, running forward. Um, Protect your mind, protect your heart. I will say this too, who you are linking up with, who you are hanging out with. If you want to be more like them and where their business is going right now and you want to feel their energy and you want their points and then stay with them. And of course, always with our downlines, we're like, come with me, let's go. We don't ever leave our downlines behind. However, if you do not have other people that are like showing you the way forward, you're in a rough patch because people have pioneered for you. It's time to chase after them, and your team is going to be inspired too. You Hoosers. Good to see you, Emma. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Kelsey. I'm so glad to see you here. I'm going to get to know this girl
Oh,
better.
thank you. Sorry, I miss it all the time because I have to sleep after night shift, but I'm here today.
Oh my goodness. Well, Amanda, do you do night shifts or do you just do you just do 12-hour shifts? Are they at night ever? Because she's an RN. Are you an RN too, Kelsey? You are.
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have a physician assistant. Liz is going to be working once a week here again, and then a physician assistant that's very interested in the business who works 3 times a week, Lou. Yeah, and 12-hour shifts. So you guys are amazing and mom life and all the things. So welcome. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll let you go night night now. Bye, guys. I will miss you when I'm gone in Alaska. And I'm really praying for really good Wi-Fi because I want to be this trip. David and I decided it's not just a big Plexus boat, it's a massive ship because it's Alaska. So I guess we have like all these other people on there. You guys, I'm looking for business builders. I'm gonna make friends on that boat. We are working on this trip. Yes, we're gonna enjoy all the things. I'm working. I'm going to be in close touch with our new business builders, especially making sure they're moving forward to their next goals, helping their people. And I want to be showing up for you guys from Alaska, inspiring you with different jewels, like different tidbits. So I'm going to be in my stories this time 100%. And you'll all be with me in spirit. Thank you for all of your hard work. I would not be going on this trip without you guys and your hard work over the years, over the months, over the weeks. And I want to see you guys earn these next things and celebrate with you in Cancun. Okay, let's do it. Good to see you, Christy. Are you in your new yellow house that's going to be painted gray soon? Oh, you're not? Okay, not yet. Okay. She's
No, we list this house on the 10th, but the other one's not going to have flooring in it until the following week. So,
okay. We want to wait for that. That's good. I like the yellow. I don't know, like I like it, the yellow. Are you really going to paint it? You're going to paint it gray. Yeah. So classy. Okay, friends. Wonderful to see your faces today. Get to messaging some people. And if you don't know what to say, something that Eva Schmidt challenged all of us on these diamond calls, you would not believe how simple everybody's actions are. She's like, go back to why you started Plexus and start telling people those things. Even if you're just starting, like you have people on your team that are just starting, they need to tell others the reason why I started last week is because I finally realized my health needs it and I have friends who need this too. I also would love to bring in a couple grand a month to cover my mortgage. Like I'm so excited. I really think I can do this. You guys, a newbie can do that. And I need to be sharing why I started Plexus. You know why I started? Sharing the opportunity. I wanted to go to Costco and throw everything I wanted in my cart every time without looking at the bill and not even caring. Every time I do our Costco runs, which is very rare because my husband does most of them, but when I get to, because I actually love to grocery shop and I miss it, I am like $550. Take my money. You know what I mean? I'm so grateful. That still fires me up. People need to hear those things. Those are more relatable than me being like, hey, multiple 6 figures. I can't even wrap my own head around that still. So be you and go talk to some people. Go talk to some people today. Okay, love you, and I was praying for you. Thank you, Gabby. It was amazing. If that's what a training looks like from Gabby Roberts at Gold, what's going to happen at Senior Gold, Ruby, Senior Ruby, Emerald, Sapphire, Diamond, Baby?
Well, all glory to God because I was half asleep and I was like texting myself. I'm like, Lord, don't let me forget. He literally brought all that clarity to me. It was insane.
Well, and we should all take that seriously because apparently he wanted all of us to hear that for a reason. So let's chew on those things and then march forward in it. Bye, friends.